There's one thing that got me through years and years in the kitchen, and that's coffee. But how many of you know how a coffee bean is grown, harvested, dried and roasted to become our morning ritual? I'm here in far North Queensland, where everything seems to grow, to find out. Bill, far North Queensland, is there anything you don't grow up here? We've seen pawpaws, papayas, limes, lychees. Now, coffee?
Coffee, yeah.
So
we don't grow anything illegal up here.
then what, the climate's great up here for growing coffee?
Yeah, I think it's one of the better places to grow coffee.
And this is the largest coffee producer in Australia?
Yeah, at the moment, yeah.
So how many acres in this plot of coffee do you have?
There's 50 acres here.
And then you've got another farm as well?
Yeah, there's a farm in Walkerman, which is 130 acres.
And then out of one harvest, what do you think you would get a year?
Oh, it changes from year to year, but you're normally 750 kilos an acre.
Oh, wow.
By on average over a few years.
And what's the process?
There's harvesting, pulping, drying, then processing, hulling, and then, you bag it into green beans and, sell it off.
So all of your product stays in Australia?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great to see more about the coffee berries, the beans, and the whole process start to finish. Do you reckon you can show me?
Yeah, well, we'll walk down a row and have a look if there's any coffee left behind the harvester.
Okay, great.
I'll show you some of the berries.
So you don't always harvest at the same time, eh? It just depends on...
Yeah, it depends on how advanced the crop is.
Okay.
Yeah, anywhere between middle of June and end of August you harvest. Yeah, that's the...
Yeah, right. So that's what we're looking at.
That's what we're after. That's where the profit is, in the fruit.
So when I see them in the restaurant, they're dark and they're hard and crunchy.
Yeah.
So what, you just...
You hull it.
Okay.
Take the hull off it, then it's a khaki colour inside. And then when they roast it, of course, it turns a brown or a dark brown, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a coffee flavour.
Yeah.
It doesn't have any aroma now.
Such a transformation, isn't it? So tell me about some of the challenges up here. Is it insects? Is it weather? Is it...
Yeah, no, we don't spray for pests at all.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the pests ain't a problem. Mainly grass and a bit of weed and maybe a bit of Cercospora. That's the disease it gets, and you just got to control that.
I'm excited to get my hands on some Aussie coffee beans.
Some Aussie-made, eh?
Aussie-made coffee beans. That's what we're all about.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you'll come up with a few new ideas.
Thanks, Bill.
Yeah.
How amazing was far North Queensland? Meeting all the farmers was so cool. But the one I was kind of more interested to create a dessert for was coffee beans. I know we always drink it, but I wanted to create a dessert garnish to really pay homage to the coffee bean. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a palm sugar praline as a crunchy coffee bean topping for an affogato. First of all, I'm just going to melt all this palm sugar down. I'm going to take these coffee beans, just spread them on a tray, evenly on the tray. And then when the palm sugar is melted, tip it over and make a nice praline. In the affogato, I'm going to do a really cool coconut sorbet. It's really great. It's completely dairy-free, gluten-free, all of the above. So it's a really nice kind of point of difference to traditional ice cream. First, I'm going to melt some glucose and simple syrup together in a pot. So we call it simple syrup, but really what it is, it's just 50-50 sugar and water brought to the boil so it dissolves evenly, and then that's used in lots of different desserts. And all we're doing here is just bringing up the temperature so the glucose and the simple syrup combine. So it doesn't take long at all. Next, we're going to add some coconut water, and I'm going to show you how to open a coconut. So this is actually like the drinking water you find in the shelves, but if you're down to give one of these a go, I'm going to show you how to open it. I use it in all the desserts at the restaurant, but also I used to drink them as a kid in Fiji. Fresh coconut would come down, would open it, and that's what we'd drink like at the beach. I just like to take the top husk off first to expose the shell. So once you get to the hard shell, you really know where you're going to chop, and that's why I take off that husk. And here, We just want to start to create a little opening at the top, and then we'll be able to tip it out. So you just want to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And basically that's going to really separate, and you can probably just pop the knife under and open it like that. So this is now your young coconut flesh that you'll see in the shops or in dessert bars. And I'll just show you how to pop that open. And this is like my childhood. I can't resist. My glucose and sugar syrup is now melted. So now we've got our young coconut juice. We're going to tip that into our glucose and sugar syrup that's now combined. So I don't really want to bring that up any more in temperature because it's just going to take longer to freeze. So we go in with the coconut. Easy peasy. And then in with our coconut cream. Just like that. And then now, just give it a good stir, get that cream all dissolved. And then really when I'm cooking a lot of Asian desserts, to help just cut that high sweetness, I'm just gonna add a little bit of salt to help balance it out. And in Asian desserts, we use this a lot. Once that's all dissolved, usually at the restaurant, I would add it to our ice cream churner. But at home, it's just as easy to just pop that into a bowl. And we'll place it into a freezer, and we'll just give it a whisk or a stir every half an hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour. Doesn't matter, just as long as it's through a period of a few hours, and just continue to give it a stir in the freezer. And then it will finally just set nice and airy, and you'll be able to use it at home, just like we do in the restaurant. I'll get my whisk ready. So just every half an hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour, you just go back to the freezer, give it a whisk, churn it all back up, put it back in, and repeat that process. I always have 2 ice creams on the go because it never goes to waste. So here's one that I started last night, and I've just had it in the freezer, just keeping it going. And you can see it's nice and frozen. It's still easy to scoop. It's yum. Cool. So, ice cream's ready. I'm going to now prepare our coffee bean praline. So I'm going to bring back our beans. This palm sugar's coming up and starting to caramelize. I love to use palm sugar instead of normal sugar because just the depth of flavour is so great. It's got a beautiful colour, especially when using it in this. So I'm just going to tip this all over the coffee beans. Oh, and it's actually toasting and roasting the coffee beans as well as the sugar is tipped all over it. It's beautiful. It's not going to take long for that to set and turn super crispy. Now you can tell the palm sugar's set and it's cooled down. And this should just come off nicely. And there it is, our palm sugar coffee bean praline. It's beautiful. And then we'll just crunch this up and use it as a cool, crunchy, textural garnish. So I'm just going to crack a little bit off, just like that. And then literally, it'll just break like glass. Cool, so we'll just get that in a little bowl, get that ready to finish the dessert. All right. So we've got our garnish, got my sorbet, and the star of the show in Affogato is a shot of coffee from our Lamazako. Here we go. I'm gonna just serve it up in nice wine glass. If you don't have wine glasses, a mug or a cup or just a little bowl is fine. Get an ice cream scoop. I just got some hot water here just to heat it up, make your life a little easier. Then we'll give a nice scoop of our sorbet. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Pop him down the bottom. Easy. Maybe one more for good measure. Okay, our ice cream's in. Just going to tip the coffee into this little cute pourer. Pour the coffee in. 2. And then garnish with your coffee bean praline. And there you go, that's your after dinner kick. Coconut affogato with palm sugar coffee beans. I hope Bill and the farmers can come down and try it out.